a little bit sad today. A little bit. Oh, not for any big, serious personal reason. Just last episode of The Big Bang Theory. I like that show. I know a lot of geeks didn't because I don't know why. They didn't like the way geeks were being portrayed, but I liked it. I'm not a geek on any serious level other than always have been. So it's over. I liked it. It's not what I'm doing this for. This is a little interstitial episode. Not even an episode. No episode number. See on the title? No episode number, but a name. Please report this error. Not you. Me. Episode 59, the travel show. The mud wrestling show. What was it? What was it called? Mud season. Not mud wrestling. Mud season. It disappeared from YouTube. Oh, wow. There's a lot of stuff up there. All of you tabs, go away. I just want you. It played. There we are live. It's working. So there it is. It played three times. Got 6 views. And now, what's the clock? Watch later. Okay, no. Don't want to watch later. I want to watch now. And now it's playing. Stand by. I tried this. Maybe it's my phone. Or maybe I just jump-started it so it's going to work. I tried it. I tried it on Roku. I tried it on my phone. Maybe it only plays on a computer. Let me see. Let me try it on the phone here. I need the over-the-shoulder camera. I keep it parked down here so it's not in the way. This won't be an audio episode. This is just a little YouTube special extra thing. There we go. Oh, it's not happy. Come on. Do I need to give you an adjustment? You should come up in auto everything. Apparently not. Apparently not. Let me get this fixed. Microcam. Configure. Just because this is a God knows what episode, non-episode, you just have to bear with everything because the color is still screwy. White balance isn't in auto either. There we go. And as long as I'm here, I'm going to fix the focus. Not fix isn't correct. Fix is in. Make it one spot. There we go. This is how we do a show. Okay, so video, YouTube, my show, my videos. There we go. Mud season. A friend of mine who does a show, ham radio show, did one the other day, and said he does a technical show. They don't screw around. They don't say bad words or anything. He said it was taken down because it violated some YouTube standards. Okay, so maybe this is what I was getting on Android. Just forever loop. Won't play. And then when I tried playing it on Roku, I'll get an error. And so maybe that's why it gets 6 views, because it's playing on computers. So what the heck? Okay, so I'm just never starting up on Android. Yeah, I've got a data connection. It wouldn't have showed. God knows what it would have showed. I don't understand these things. I was going to say it wouldn't have showed just the channel if I didn't have a data connection. I turn off mobile data on this because when I'm expecting it to do Wi-Fi, sometimes it grabs a bunch of mobile data, and I use Google Fi. Google Fi, I'm paying basically $1 per 100 megabytes. It's pretty much that granular in the way Google Fi is paid. It's $20. This non-episode of the Triangle Talk Show is brought to you by Google Fi. $20 for unlimited talk and text. I can't talk very much on the phone. I don't like talking on the phone, like a lot of people. I text a fair amount. I didn't used to text at all because I had a Verizon phone, an old Verizon unlimited plan. But back when that plan was initiated, the unlimited was data. Actually, phone calls, I think, had a cap. It was hundreds of minutes, so I never reached that. But it was 20 cents a text, whether I received it or sent it, every time. 1 cent, 20 cents. One received, 20 cents. I would tell people, don't text me. Cost me cash. They would look at me as if I had grown a third eye. And then I went on to the Google Fi, unlimited talk and text, and I became a texting maniac. Well, I texted. Surprised a lot of people. Gary, you sent a text. Should I send you a quarter? No, now I can text. But it throttled the data. Well, I throttled the data plan because it was $20 for unlimited talk and text, plus a few bucks for texts and stuff, $3 or so. And then what they advertise is $10 a gigabyte of data. But they actually break it out into granular chunks of 100 megabytes. So if you go over a gigabyte by 10 or 20 megabytes, they just charge you another $1, rounding it up to 100 megabytes. But that's pretty granular, pretty small. So you could call it $1 per 100 megabytes, but it's easier to say $10 per gigabyte. And so by keeping myself on a data diet, I typically keep a month's worth of data use on the phone down to 2 gigabytes or less. So my typical phone bills are $35 to $40 a month. Best understand that's not bad. Okay, so just let me give it one more try, one more shot. Video. This YouTube where it says YouTube, that's YouTube TV. I can't change what it says there. It's confusing though because it looks a lot like the ordinary YouTube thing. I'm live. And it's just going to go round and round and round and never play. On Roku, it comes up with an error code that says, for the reason for the title of the show, please report this error. And it gives me an error code, which I didn't write down because I kind of expected it to come back up. So, and yet here on the computer, it plays. Well, she'd best not plan on coming home. She'd best not plan on coming home.
Should be charged with murder.
All right, is it vacation pictures time?
I do, by the way, like the sound of my own voice. Yeah.
All right. So WTF? Because I don't want YouTube to take me down for violating community standards. Chilling effect. I've got I'll save those changes. I've got the clickbait thing. What I need is a thing that says chilling effect, so that when I want to do something that I've suddenly become petrified to do because I'm afraid of a YouTube takedown, like use some video that somebody else owns and I'm going to get a copyright strike or something, even though I'm pretty sure it qualifies for fair use. I need to put the chilling effect. I can make that graphic. It'll be like the signs back in the 60s when a building had air conditioning. They have the label air conditioning or air conditioned in blue letters, a white outline, and the frosty thing around the bottom. Icicles dripping from it. I need that. And then when I'm chickening out of doing something because I'm afraid of saying a bad word or doing something that is going to get me taken off of YouTube, chilling effect. Think of it as going like this, but saying chilling effect. Okay, so I guess I got to go to, I guess I got to go to my Roku and write down the error code. It says, please report this error. What it doesn't say is where to report it. That's what this was going to be all about. It was going to be all about where to report an error. YouTube, please report this error. Well, there's a video. Now, if I play the video, if I play that, please report this error video, I'll get a takedown from playing somebody else's video. Let's try it. Oh. Well. Okay, a different please report this. This is, we have received a legal complaint regarding your video. I've never gotten that. After review, the following video, eugenic solution to the Jewish problem, has been blocked from view on the following YouTube country sites: French Polynesia, Walls and Futuna. Really? That's a country? Israel, Switzerland, Saint Pierre and Miquelon, Poland. There's countries I've never heard of here. Mayonnaise, well, not that I've heard of every country. Mayonnaise, Martinique, Germany, Guadeloupe, France, the Czech Republic, Austria, Réunion, French Guiana, New Caledonia, one of the more fun country names to say, Italy, and the French Southern Territories, just there. I guess it's okay to watch here. Oh, I was trying to click the link. It's just a picture of a link. It's not really a link. The eugenic solution to the Jewish problem. Okay, sure. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be like super racist. Well, okay, that specific title is not coming up. Super racist, super anti-Semitic. So I don't know. But anyway, that wasn't my issue. I probably need more keywords because there was more than just please report this error. That's just what would fit on my title, and that's all I can remember. And I thought it would come up on when I played the video, and it didn't. I don't have a Roku box sitting in front of me to play with. So, I don't know. The thing to do, I guess the solution will be to upload it again. Because more people are going to watch it on Android devices than on and Roku's and things than on computers. So let's see. Here's the Triangle Talk Show. Create a video. Upload a video. Okay, I'm going to select a file to upload, which I'll be doing over here on this computer. Fortunately, I recorded it. I can show you. I recorded it here under Wirecast Records. There it is, Mud Season. I can do this in plain sight. Just drag and drop it. And up it goes. Now here's something interesting. Here's the bandwidth the system will use to send something up to YouTube. This is this line on my little bandwidth meter. 23.6 megabits per second. I have a Spectrum, formerly Time Warner cable internet plan. They used to call it 300 megabits down, but I never quite got that. I would get usually a speed test would show me about 200, 225 or so, and 20 up. And I've always bettered that, or they've always done better than that. So this is pretty typical, 23 megabits per second. In fact, there's a couple of security cameras running there, sending a few hundred megabits always to a service. So it might be another couple, half a megabit or better than this. Wow, 24. You go, Spectrum. On the other hand, Google's working their way in. And they'll offer two levels of service, 50 megabit symmetric up and down, or gigabit symmetric, gigabit up and down. So this video would go up to YouTube, and assuming YouTube would suck it in that fast, and they probably would because they're Google, take about 3 seconds. You may have heard the techies in your life say, yeah, but you can't rely on that speed. That's burst speed. They'll do that for a second or two, but then it's going to throttle. It's going to fall off. But take a look at this. Look at this square wave practically. It's holding in there for a file. How big is that file? That file is 1.16 gigabytes. So sending a gigabyte to YouTube, sustained at 23 to 24 megabits per second. So much for people saying, nah, that's just your burst speed. You're not going to get that for a long time. Now, my experience is it will stay right up there till the end of the file. So let's go and name it. I've changed the way I'm doing things. I had put the episode number first, I decided that really wasn't needed. So what was I calling that episode? Oh, Mud. Mud season. Second YouTube upload. What the heck? I'll do that. And now let's just copy this. So I think I was saying that I decided not to put the episode number first, just to put the name first, because other stuff shows the episode number, typically. Although I weaned out on that a little bit, and I stick it at the end. Anything else this needs? Allow embedding. You can embed this on your own website if you want. It's usually it's standard. The category is news and politics, but this is going to be travel and events, even though it opens up with a about 12-minute rant on politics. The recording date was not today, it was the 17th. You can watch the statistics, I guess. It's not 3D video. And the content has never aired on television in the U.S. Sure. And if you want to comment on it and you make a potentially inappropriate comment, it will be held for review. And someday I'll get around to looking at it. So you can see the progress bar chugging along, about 3 minutes remaining. But I can go ahead and push the publish button. And away it goes. A behind-the-scenes look at how things work here at the Triangle Talk Show. And pretty much for anybody who tries to send stuff up to YouTube. I haven't had very many failures like that. I've never had a failure like that. That's the first time I've seen that. I've seen other things screw up. I think I've only had to re-upload my recording of a file once on this show. And on the Old Ham Radio Show, where I was well over 400 uploads, probably 2 or 3 times. We're still chugging along at 23 to 24 megabits per second. I think I can. So the audio of the episode went fine. While we're waiting for this, let's take a look at the audio statistics. This is where they get this is where I see my audio statistics. No, you don't get to see the login. The one show that I've got on PodTrack, the Triangle Talk Show, it says 61 episodes, even though you see only 59 of them. Because things like this, I'm not counting this as an episode, but PodTrack won't get that because it gets the audio episodes. There have been a couple of little non-numbered things that I put up in the audio. Well, I guess actually we started with episode 0. And they start numbering at 1, so there must be one other thing to get from 59 to 61. So 15 whole people have listened to the Mud season, of which at least one of them is me. A few episodes have picked up a bigger audience, and I don't know where they go. They're going to listen for something specific, like release the report. That got a few of the friends of Enzo and what was the other guy's name? Can't remember. And then Diana Wynn from Women Voters, League of Women Voters. A bunch of those folks watched that or listened to that, and then never again. So this is what we call it, a podcast in its earliest incipient stages of trying to struggle for an audience. Except that we've been doing this for a year, and other folks should reach this point in the first couple of weeks. The reason? Oh, cool. It's done. It's up there. And now I need to give it a custom thumbnail, because I don't want it picking a random thumbnail. That will do it. Okay, so it's up there, but now it's doing what they call processing, which is actually, this is going along pretty well. Sometimes I'll send a video up there and it thinks it's got to do a lot of work on it. And it will process for almost as long as it took to upload. But this seems to be going along pretty quick. So now I need to take this new custom URL and I need to put it on the Triangle Talk Show website. And again, you don't get to see me log into that. But now here we are. This is what Squarespace looks like when you're editing, creating a page. So we'll go to the Mud season and we'll edit that. And the YouTube episode for this, we don't want to direct people to one that won't play. We will direct people to one that will play. Wait a minute. What did I do? Okay, so I picked up something wrong. I thought I copied that. I thought I copied it. Control C, that is copy. There we go. That looks better. And save. And check it. Well, it is taking me to the new one. This video is still being processed, it says. Let me get rid of this title. Get rid of that title too. This video is still being processed. The video quality may improve once processing is complete. Well, it's going to have to improve a lot because it's not playing at all yet. What does it say? Yeah, processing is at 95%. What is this little part of the YouTube thing? I mean, there's stuff around the edges of web frames that I never pay any attention to. What's this part here? Premieres, something new in YouTube. Premieres. Make it a moment. Build the hype and get fans excited about your next video. Schedule your premiere. Share your watch page URL with your fans. Chat with fans before and during the premiere. Watch the premiere with fans in real time. So I was saying that I actually picked up a subscriber from whining about not, being below 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel. We were at 49. Somebody took pity on us and subscribed and bumped us up to 50. We still need 50 more. And then we can change this channel URL. This is the channel URL up here, youtube.com/channel/UCAEUOHOK blah, 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 blah. That's our web address for the Triangle Talk Show channel on YouTube. And if I get 100 subscribers, that would change to youtube.com/channel/Triangle Talk Show. If I get 100 subscribers, hoping for that. So what was I saying a minute ago about, I guess we were looking at the PodTrack thing, about the number of folks that watch or listen, kind of based on if they knew somebody who was on the show and then they never listen again. I mean, the big thing is I don't do any promotion. I don't go out there. There's an industry of how to get people to watch or listen to a podcast. It's a big industry. All kinds of tips and techniques. Some are free. Some you'd have to buy. A lot of them are free. A lot of things you can do. I don't do any of them. I just make the shows, put them out there. Once in a while, I'll put a note on Reddit if I think that something is particularly worthwhile for local consumption on the Triangle Reddit, subreddit, or Raleigh or Cary or something. And on Reddit, I have to write, or I want to write, stuff that is about that episode or about the more likely about the event than the episode, because Reddit doesn't want you to do very much self-promotion. Just saying, here I am, I'm great, and you should pay attention to me. They really don't want a lot of that. And I don't want a lot of that on Reddit because I don't want to see a lot of it from you. So if I'm going to put a promotion of an episode on there, and I try to not do that very often, and when I do, I try to add some value, some things I can type into the Reddit announcement that are not really on the show or on the show somewhere, but could be elaborated on or explained a little bit better. Because whenever I finish a show, I go watch or listen to it back, I go, I forgot. Boy, I screwed that up, or I could have done better. Yeah, that's always the case. Unless, I mean, well, even if you do a scripted show, even if you or I do a show that is all laid out, and I do that once in a while. And I like the way they come out better than, I mean, this is a total ad lib. I'm just sitting here talking off the top of my head. I like the way the scripted shows come out better because they're more cohesive and less, I don't like the way I do that a lot. So if I'm reading a script, I think I'm pretty good at reading a script that I don't sound like I'm reading the script. I'm remembering an episode that Julia and I did a long time ago. It was a totally ad-libbed episode. And at one point we were saying, well, you know, this is scripted. Everything we say on this episode is scripted. including what we're saying now. It's right, right here in the script. Everything we say in this episode is scripted, including what we say now. And including reading the line that said everything that we say on this episode is scripted, including this. That's scripted too. And this is scripted too. They come out better, but they take forever to do. And I don't have a teleprompter, so if I'm doing something that's scripted, I'm not going to be looking up at the camera very much. I try to steal a glance up at the camera so that you can think I'm talking to you. And what inevitably happens when I do that is I've lost my place in reading the script. And I don't have a physical page in front of me. I put it on the computer screen because I don't want to waste paper. So there's an industry out there for promoting podcasts, and I try not to. No, it's not that I try not to do that. I don't take the effort to do it. I leave it up to you. And you, by the way, have been falling down on the job. You're supposed to tell everyone you know, hey, I've stumbled on this great local podcast for the Triangle area. The guy is really entertaining. He's kind of low key. And he humble brags a lot because he doesn't think he's very good. He thinks he's in the midst of, okay, what was the word was on the tip of my tongue. Where you don't think you're any good. I can't think of it. Don't get old. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Not delusional. Above I am. Not self-deprecating. Sometimes I am. What's that word? Can't think of it. So on Reddit, I will write some extra stuff and put it in there. And someone will still, in the comments, snarkily say, self-promotion. And sometimes I'll come back and say, not really. Otherwise, I don't know where to go to tell you about stuff. So it's your job, and you're not doing a very good job of it. Tell your friends. Tell everyone you know. Here's the problem with that. You tell them that you like watching the show or listening to it, and they give it a try, and they don't like it, and they think less of you for recommending it. So don't tell everyone you know. Keep it a secret. Enjoy it yourself. I'll keep making them, don't worry. I don't need success. I got the cameras, I got the studio, I got the mixer, I got the microphones. It's not going away. I don't need to make money off of it. I mean, even if there was another few hundred people, which would be the level I'd like to reach, it's not monetizable. A few thousand, you might get a commercial here. Or I do a Patreon and say, send me money. Can we play this yet? Processing still 95%. Well, I know often the last few details are the hardest. But really, nothing's happening here. This is not processing on my computer. This is up in Google. Their estimate was just optimistic. Let's see what happens. Sometimes it'll actually start to play. No, it won't even start to play yet. Sometimes it'll start to play. It'll just be low resolution. Because YouTube makes multiple resolutions of each file I send. I send this file as a 720p file. But they'll make a 1080 out of it. They'll make a 720. They won't use my 720. They'll use their magic to crunch it down into a smaller file. And they'll make a 480, and they'll make something even smaller for playing on little phones, low bandwidth connections. They'll make a bunch of files out of it. And then they'll send me a bill. No, they won't. Everything on YouTube is free. So when I complain about the chilling effect and the being worried about having something violating community standards or YouTube standards or something or whatever makes me afraid to put something up or do something in a show, keep in mind, this is not the U.S. government. The U in YouTube is not United States. It's not a U at all. It's a Y-O-U. Okay, it's a U, but it's part of a Y-O-U. It's private, not a privately held company, but it's a private company. They can do whatever they want, and they can shut me down at will. So, no, still not ready. Still at 95%. So, limited territory to complain. Because, not that stops a lot of people from complaining about what what's happening on their YouTube stuff. People complain like crazy about it. And they're getting it for free. And it belongs to someone else. If I wanted to pay for the bandwidth that it would take to do this as video, I pay for the bandwidth that it takes to do it as audio. The audio comes from Squarespace. This is, in fact, this is what that looks like. When I make the audio file, give me an E. Okay, so there's the audio file, TTS0059 Mud Season MP3, and that is an MP3 audio file, just like most of your music. It is 77 megabytes, so that's pretty small. Remember the video file I sent up that was over a gigabyte? Not a gigabit, gigabyte. 8 times bigger than a bit. So the audio file is relatively small by comparison, 77 megabytes. And when I want to send that up for your listening pleasure, I do it into Squarespace and I drag it into this box. Now there's already something there, so I'm not going to drag another one in. And I name it. I give it some more information. If I say bad words, I would push this explicit content button. And interestingly enough, YouTube doesn't have a corresponding explicit content button. They have an age button. And if I press that, then people under 17, 18 can't watch it at all. It's not a warning. It's not a, it's not an advisory. It's a prohibition. It's a binary. Of course, they all lie and say what age they are when they're, if they're watching it without logging on, and it will say, this has been restricted. Are you old enough? And they'll click the button that says, yes, of course I am. Now it may force them to log in. Actually, I think it forces them to log in. I don't know how that works. I don't care because I'm old. None of that affects me. Anyway, so over here on Squarespace, then, put all that stuff together. And I don't need to save that because it's already there. And that's where the audio file lives, on Squarespace's server up in, I think it's in New York City. They're probably distributed now. They probably got them all over the place. And then when you go listen to a show as an audio podcast, then That's where it comes from. And nobody has their hooks in it but me and Squarespace don't if there's something in it that I don't know, because it's got that explicit button. If there's something in it that somebody is going to have a real serious legal beef with, they could probably go to Squarespace. The next step is Apple iTunes. They don't host the file. I suppose they are. I was just describing this for somebody at a podcasters meeting, and they were asking how do they do the mechanics of getting a podcast online that people can listen to. And well, you make your file, the MP3 file I was showing you before. You get a host. In this case, I'm using Squarespace. One of the other big hosts, and one I've used before, is called Libsyn, something that you out there in the audience are totally unfamiliar with because it's an intermediary and you don't ever see it. But again, the file would sit on their server. And one of the services they provide is to send the existence of that file to a variety of companies that then become the intermediary between the company that's hosting the file and your phone to say, hey, there's a new podcast, download it, listen to it, stream it, whatever. So there's companies that are in between that, and you've heard of those. Apple iTunes is the big one. Everybody wants their podcast listed on iTunes. Google does it. Stitcher, Spotify, a few others, some big, some not so big. But if you get on iTunes and if you get on Google, you're pretty golden. And that's not hard to do. But if something comes up about a show that you produce that has got something in it that is going to cause them trouble, I don't know. These things are so nebulous and vague. I'm probably never going to get into that category. But Alex Jones, guys like that, they have tread across this territory and caused themselves problems. And Apple could say, well, we're just not, it's not our job to make the file go away, but we can, if we don't tell anybody about it, if Google won't list it, then your podcast app is never going to know that it's there to listen to. And you won't get distributed. People can put an address, it's called an RSS feed. They can put the address into their podcast app. And then the podcast app will bypass the iTunes and the Google and go direct to the Squarespace or the Libsyn and pull the file you listen. But nobody does that. Nobody knows how to do that. So if that's what you're aiming for, we have processed. We have. Oh, wait a minute. We have been processed. Stand by. Processing is done. Go turn on the lights, Gary. Fraz, you thought you were so clever. Oh, by the way, most of the time. Okay, so that episode is back. And now I guess if you were to go to my YouTube channel, can I figure out how to do that? It's always a guessing game as to which side of the drop-down menus that I'm going to go to find my channel. Sometimes it's on the left, sometimes it's on the right. I mean, it's consistent based on where I'm sitting at the moment. I can't predict based on where I am what it's going to be. Okay, so now we're at the YouTube channel. We're still live. And so there's Mud Season TTS 59 Travel. There's Please Report This Error. And there's Mud Season's second YouTube upload. So, is that going to be confusing for the audience? Maybe. Should I put something on the website that will describe that? Sure, why not? This is not hard. Let's see. Oh, I'm not showing that to you. YouTube viewers. Please note, TTS 59 had a playback problem on Android and Roku, but not on the web. So I uploaded another version to playback. On those devices. Sorry for the confusion. 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 I can't talk and type at the same time. But I would like you to notice that I'm not a bad typist. I can type. I haven't done a good speed test in a while. Last speed test was error-free at about 30 words a minute. Not bad at 40 words a minute. And error-filled at 50 or 60 words per minute. So I'm not a bad typist. Okay, sorry for the confusion. Save. Now. There we go. There it is. Based on the definition of insanity, I clearly am insane. I don't have to worry about explaining things for the audio audience because I'm not putting this out as an audio. Okay, maybe I should. This has gone on a lot longer than I expected, so maybe I should put it out as an audio podcast. Just because. Why not? Plus, I like the way my voice sounds this morning. I have a serious case of morning voice. In the morning, I can go, ah, and by the evening, it's, ah. In fact, I was doing better 2 hours ago. Am I done? I never did end up reporting this error because I could never find where to report it. I guess I was in the middle of explaining that when I chased a squirrel someplace else. But I don't think I'm going to even bother. Who cares? Just upload it again and move on. The train was cool. Oh, you know what? I discovered in actually watching the train video. This is back when we were up in Salt Lake City, Park City, and watching that train. Well, first of all, I talked to a friend who is a train buff, railroad buff, and he was explaining some things about that celebration, the Golden Spike celebration, the 150th anniversary, and I thought the train we watched that rolled past. I'll tell you. Let me get the pictures up here. I need my photos. Google Photos is awesome, isn't it? Okay, so I thought mud season is the time between ski season and the beginning of summer. You stop. Shut up. I've been bit by this before. Okay, so this is the shot where I got my thumb or my finger in the lens, but this is where the train is going by. And I thought this train that we were looking at was going to go all the way to Promontory for the celebration. But my friend was explaining to me that the track at Promontory is only a mile long or so. It's not connected to the rest of the railroad universe. So first of all, this train didn't go all the way there. And second, notice the little camera shake? This is called the Big Boy. This engine is called the Big Boy. And this only went as far as Ogden. And then they had their own version of the celebration there. But what I totally missed was, well, I missed a couple things. I was talking about how these things they run on steam. I think I said that the steam is heated by coal, and it is not anymore. It's heated by oil or gas. I guess oil. It was probably coal back when it was original. And it needs to be filled up with water about every 30 miles. So I was saying they probably were trucking water around and pouring it in. It's a big train engine. They can pull a lot of stuff. They were pulling their own refills of water, and you'll see those in a moment. And also, that may be the water behind it, although I don't think so. That's the water. that yellow one with the flag on it. That's the water. And then, right behind it, totally missed by me, was another engine. Another steam engine, helping to pull what's not a huge train, but the water's heavy. And it's got its own, that's probably the oil and the thing behind it, the fuel, and its own water container. It's water tank on wheels. And then there's a regular engine, regular diesel, ordinary engine, probably to move everything along when the steam engines break down. I don't know. I need my expert friend here to explain what we're seeing. And then a couple of rail cars. It's a guy sticking out just watching from the door. A couple of those. And a couple of passenger cars. And I think he was telling me that you could get a ride on those passenger cars. The ticket to ride, the relatively short run that they did, was thousands of dollars. So you got to be a super rail fan for that. But can you imagine riding on that once in 150 years anniversary ride on the engine? Okay. You know what they're missing? They don't have a caboose. How can they do a historic rail run without a caboose? I mean, they got rid of cabooses a long time ago, but they certainly had them back. Or maybe they didn't have them back then. Maybe caboose-eye. Maybe they were a more modern invention and then became historic and disappeared. I don't know. Did I have a reason for getting into that? Don't know that either. But I think we're done. And I think I will. Oh, well, I won't be able to make an audio of this unless I strip it down from the YouTube because I'm not making a local recording. I was just expecting this to be about 2 minutes long. And a YouTube exclusive. I can pull it down from YouTube. They let us content creators download what we have put up. And they don't let, but they they can't stop everyone else from downloading it with a secret aftermarket app. They make it hard now and then, but they try. Alrighty, this has been Please Report This Error, an unnumbered non-episode of the Triangle Talk Show. I'm your not very much of a travel expert. I'm Gary Pierce. Goodbye, YouTube special. Over and out.